Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm gonna do a part 2 of being scammed in China. I've had some people actually inbox me to actually finish what happened. It's just that life has been happening and I could not film this part, but I'm really excited to film today. Please, I'm sorry about the sound at the back, like the noise at the back, because there's some construction that's happening down the road, so obviously there's so much noise. But I hope I can get like enough time to talk to you guys and finish my story. I'm not gonna try and make it like a part 2 of it, because I'm also going to add like some advice and things that I did and I've experienced racism firsthand and stuff like that. So basically, when I was now in China, studying at Liaoning University, things started to turn actually for the worst. It wasn't fun anymore, because considering the fact that nobody told me that this place is literally the fucking North Pole. You know what I mean? Imagine, I was coming from Zimbabwe, where like it's sunny half of the time. In the winter we can bear it. I mean, right now it's winter, but I can wear something like this, you know what I mean? Like there you could not, bruh. Like I was sick half of the time. The weather was just not good for me. I know some people like snow, but for me, it was just tough on my health and on myself, and literally on my mental health, because I was just depressed half of the time when it was snowing and it just didn't stop, So being enrolled in the wrong program. And for some reason, I was supposed to study like language, right? That's what I thought I had applied for, because I used these people who scammed me actually to say, you know what, they told me when I applied when I was in Zimbabwe that I was going to study language. So when I got there, and then I'm being told you're supposed to do business administration. I was just like, what? That's not what I wanted to do and stuff like that. So you can imagine, I'm like miles away from home, and I'm being told you're supposed to study business administration. For some reason, I felt like I had no choice. When you travel, it's like you don't have anyone to like lean on and stuff like that. I was just like crying to my parents, and then they were just telling me, you know what, just try to do the program and see how it is and stuff like that.
Please do not mind the chicken. It just doesn't want me to be great right now.
So basically, I enrolled studying the BA, the business administration, which was very tough because I'm an arts person. I did language, and I've never did accounting or anything to do with mathematics.
Bruh, I can count money, but books, like accounting, it's a whole different ballgame.
And it was just depressing. But even though it was hard, I met amazing friends who are still my sisters till today. They were amazing and stuff like that. They even made my life easier when I was in China, because they were really nice to me and stuff like that. Now let's talk about the racism. I don't know, when it comes to racism, it's like people in my country, like Zimbabwe, we talk about racism exists, racism is there. But then back in college, I studied at the University of Zimbabwe. So back in college, we did all the isms like racism, whatever ism, as a theory, like schoolwork. It wasn't because obviously the universities are predominantly black people there, so it's like, yeah, you barely see white people, maybe Chinese people and stuff like that, but yeah, it's mostly black people around. So I never felt we never really experienced racism at first hand. But then this time around, I had to actually experience it when I was in China. It was so tough, bruh. There was just at the time, Liaoning University has the graduate school and the undergrad school. I was at the graduate school. So at the graduate school, they had like a hostel for international students and stuff like that. I used to share a room with a Zimbabwean girl, but then she ended up going back home. So I was staying in that room by myself. And then this girl from Mongolia, let's call her Miss X, she showed up. She knocked on my door. She's like, hey, can we share this room and stuff like that. So obviously I don't have the power to say no. I was like, it's cool, you can come and we can share the premises and stuff like that. So she moved in and stuff like that. I didn't know that she always causes havoc wherever she goes. So obviously my Chinese was not that great, but I could buy stuff. I could communicate to move from point A to point B. Yeah, I could literally save myself. But in this situation, what happened was, cultural differences played a major role, because I'm from Africa. There are certain things that we do that obviously rub other people, like foreigners, the wrong way and stuff like that. So what happened was, let me just get to my story. So what happened was, I was sleeping, right? So this girl, for some reason, she barely sleeps. This is what I can say about Miss X. She barely sleeps. She likes to read out loud. And that's annoying, because for me, I would study without putting like music, with putting music in my ears or something like that. That's how I studied. I know some people can relate. But for her, she would just like read out loud. If it's Chinese, she would read out loud. She would go for hours. If we wake up in the morning like 6 or 5 or whatever, she would go on a study desk, and she'll study her books, reading out loud from 6 till I could go out, go buy food, go live my life outside, and come back in the room. She'd still be reading. Like, girl, let me just say she did not have a life. Because I'm like, sometimes I'll try to drag her. I'm like, can we just like go outside, for fresh air, child? But then it's like she was just like that, and I got to an understanding where I was like, you know what, I guess this is who she is, so it's all right. But then she kept on doing this reading out loud thing, and for me it didn't work, because we are sharing a room. Sometimes when I want to sleep, child, I want to sleep, okay? So then I confronted her. I was like, girl, can you like read at a just don't make noise, just don't read out loud. Can you like read what you can understand and stuff like that and hear, or just keep quiet? And then she started screaming at me, bro. She's just like, why are you telling me not to read? Like, this is how I do things and stuff. And I was like, hey, look, you can't read out loud because some of us are trying to sleep. Like, we are not gonna try to hear you read out loud. And then she's like, I'm going to tell. So, before I even go any further, this girl did not know how to speak English properly. So you can imagine the barriers. Okay, my Chinese is bad, correct? Her English is terrible, but her Chinese is good. My English is good, but my Chinese is crap. So I'm trying to tell her like properly. And then in her mind, I guess it's because it's a black person or crazy black woman in her mind, she's just like,
no, I'm gonna tell the teacher you are bullying me, dumb stuff. Girl, that's the only thing I could hear, because I was already pissed off.
And I'm like, the hell? Like, I'm just telling you to read quietly so that I can sleep. Bro, I didn't know. She went downstairs to the, hostel caretakers and stuff like that. Then they came. There were like 3 of them. Okay, no offense, but like in Africa, like in Zim, someone like me is skinny, okay? I'm considered skinny. I'm not even considered like a built girl or something. But when I was in China, okay, in that situation, I was a bit big and taller. And I'm looking at all these
just going
speaking Chinese going off, and I could not even understand a damn thing because I'm just standing there. So one of the ladies, the caretakers, right, she stands right in front of me. She's like this, looking at me like I'm gonna pop off or something like that. And I wasn't, and I was just chilling. I'm like, what is going on? Like, what the ghetto, bruh? Like, I was just like confused, and they were just going off. So So I was just like, you know what, let me just try to look for someone who can speak Chinese so they can assist me with the situation, because it was getting crazy. And then one of this girl from, I forgot the country, well, I suck, I'm gonna label it if I remember. Let me call her Angeline, right? So Angeline shows up. She's like, oh, this girl, she's crazy, meaning Miss X. She started saying she's crazy in the sense that she was her ex-roommate and they had a fallout. So when they had a fallout, right, she decided to change rooms. So I didn't know any of that. I was just like, the hostel is not my house. We can share a room, kind of thing. She'll do the most. Sometimes she'll open the door, right? And it'll be freezing, like outside. It'll be literally freezing outside. And then she'll take off her clothes and then she'll sleep on the bed naked. And I'm like, girl, where I come from, we close the doors. We do not leave the doors open. What's up with that? And then
she's like, no, I want air. And I'm like, girl, how much air do you need? Like, outside is freezing. If you want to go get air, go outside.
And then she'll be pissed off about it and stuff like that. She had the audacity to say,
you make a lot of noise when you answer your phone. And then she had to be so racist about it. And she's like, you people. And she's like, you people, and I'm like, what do you mean? Black people? That's what's up, right? That's what you mean.
And she's like, you people make
noise every time when you're on the phone, the yada yada yada. She went off, bruh.
She was just like talking a lot of trash. But at the same time, even as much as I wanted to be mad, I was just like, okay, it's her problem. Her being racist sometimes, I guess maybe because she has never been like in a room or in the same space with like a black person. And I'm from Africa, bro. Like, if you just
rap me the wrong way, sometimes, okay, I'm not gonna fight you. I'm gonna try to, if I have to save my life. But
it's like I would always put myself in a calm position because I do not want an angry black girl, you know. So I would just like chill and try to talk to her. But then that scenario was really crazy to me. And it was not only the racism that I faced at the hostel, because for some reason, guys, the CCTV, the camera was literally like on my door like this. But these people will follow me if I'm coming from buying groceries or from lectures, from class and stuff like that. They'll follow me and I'm thinking, my nigga, okay, my guy, there's a whole CCTV on my door. You can see me with my bags getting into this room, so why are you following me? Sometimes they'll follow you into the kitchen and then pretend like they're looking for something because you're there, and you're thinking, child, like, what is this life? It was just insane to me. And it's so hard because before I travel, the first time I traveled to go to China was in 2015-ish there, and we were told that when you're in China, a Chinese always wins. Like,
never argue with the Chinese because they always win. Can you imagine?
And you know, thinking about it now, it's like they were just trying to tell us that, you know what, these were my black lecturers who have been there, who speak good Chinese and they're doing business with Chinese people. So they were just telling us, like, you know what, when you're gonna go to China, it's gonna be a different world and this is the first time and stuff like that. But if you're in China, the Chinese always win, the Chinese always. And he told me straight up in the face, like a whole bunch of us, because the first time we went, about like 14-15 of us from the same school. And it's so sad, you know, to be told that, yo, when you go to this country, you can never win with anything. Funny enough, like, you know, when they're here and stuff like that, it's never like that. In my own opinion, it's never like that. These people are treated like equals and stuff like that. But when we are there, it's a whole different story. And you know, people back home, they're
always telling you, oh wow, when you're in China, you know, you can get a job, like, and stuff like that. It's not for everybody, to be honest.
Because you're like using your student visa, which is what, XV visa, I don't know, I'll just put it on the label somewhere so that I don't say it wrongly. But then you're not allowed to work, you know, and it's difficult because, like, from when you are traveling from home, everyone
is excited for you. They're like, yeah, you're gonna have a different life, yada 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 and stuff like that. And then when you go there, it's a whole different story.
I'm not saying China is bad, okay? There are people who are doing amazing things in China, to be honest. But it was just unfortunate for my part. But there are good parts and then there are bad parts, obviously. There are two sides to the story.
Anyway, chat, my throat is dry. Let me just...
It's one of those things. So don't really take my word with some of the things. The unfortunate parts is just that I'm telling my story so that maybe you do not fall through these scammers, because scammers are everywhere, like from identity theft to you name it. People are just evil. The racism always continued. Sometimes when you're in the subway, it was always the same situation. It's like when you get into the subway, right? Everyone just gets in because people are rushing to go to different places and stuff like that. But then for some reason, because you're a black person, literally, it's like you're like a dot in a ball of like white or everything. So like the moment a Chinese person is standing next to you, if they're like absent-minded, they didn't see you get there, they'll get so like shocked, like, oh, I'm standing right beside a black person, you know, that kind of thing. And it sucks to feel invisible, but it's life. It happened and I experienced it, feeling invisible, and it sucked because you're thinking, it made me feel like even all the qualifications I have back home, girl,
I'm a learned person, okay? Let me just blow my horn for a minute.
But when I was there, you know, and I'm trying to do certain things, they would tell me
like, oh, the way you look, what about parents, what are they gonna think about? Oh, the way you look.
And I'm thinking, wow, so if I cut myself and then I bleed, and you cut yourself and you bleed, are we really not the same person? Like, I go to a point where I was actually thinking like, I'm dumb, bruh. Like, you know what I mean? Because you're being told like,
okay, your qualifications are great, but then we recognize this country, we recognize X country, but not your
guess
country.
what? And the government keeps feeding us shit. They be telling us,
well, as in China, we have built whatever partnerships, which is fake as shit. Because let me tell you something, the embassy, the Zimbabwean embassy in China does not do anything. Those people are trash, bro. They cannot even help you. They don't do things really efficient.
And here they are telling us all over in the media like, we have amazing relationship with Chinese people. I mean, that's what I hear. And then when I go there, I'm experiencing a whole like different world. It was just insane to me. Like I said, it was my experience, and life went on. I met new friends. I experienced a lot of things. Coaster, and then I learned a lot of things about myself as well, because you know, I always in Zimbabwe, it's like you live in a bubble because you know, you go to school, you have your friends, yada 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 and stuff like that. But then when you go out there, it's like your horizon is broadened because you're by yourself, you're staying by yourself, you're in a foreign country, you're learning new cultures about other people, and it's never about you. And it's like things that you know from home, you are so proud when you're out there, because if you're not really proud right now when you're here in Zim, that's when you're like, I hate being here because our country is shit, da da da. You know, people have a lot to say. But then when you go out there, you really start to appreciate the sun. You really start to appreciate the fucking sun, guys. Like it's like that. You start to appreciate the sun. You start to appreciate your homegrown food, like from the ground. You start to appreciate sata. Okay,
I don't like sata that much. It's just keep pressure, but yeah. You start to just appreciate and be like, yo, thank God.
So that to every person who actually follow me and inboxed me, I felt like it was long overdue because I kept on saying,
oh, I'm gonna film it, oh, I'm gonna film it, and then life kept on happening, and I kept forgetting. But it might seem like it's haphazard, kind of haphazardly, but then obviously comment down
below, and if you want me to make a certain specific video when it comes to my experiences when I was in China, obviously I'm glad to do that. I still kind of have relevance and pictures to show, so yo girl can actually like tell you and stuff like that. But this, like I said, disclaimer, these are my experiences. I urge everyone, every young person who's in my age range, who's just not yet settled or whatever, or if you have settled or whatever, go out there and live life. Just if you have the opportunity to go to China and maybe avoid certain detours, do not give your passport to a stranger. Yeah, people can be dumb like that.
this dummy. I did that. Don't give your passport to some stranger. Just
don't trust certain people because people are trash. Human beings sometimes can be trash. So just don't be the ghetto. Like, but that's the thing. Like, I urge you to go out there and live life, because for me, going out there, it really opened my eyes to realize, you know what, I really live in my small bubble, but then there's a whole world out there, and certain things and certain perspectives have changed because racism happened to me, but it's not gonna change who I am. It's not gonna change the Rachel, because
child, this melanin is going nowhere. It's going nowhere. And I hope my mic is not, yeah, I hope not. This melanin is not going anywhere. I'm going to remain me. And racism is there. Now it's no longer like in your face, like we hate you because you're black.
Like, no, it's like, it's very subtle. They are going to like question your education. They're gonna question your knowledge, your mind. They are going to question certain things about your qualifications. Like, it's crazy. It's really subtle. It's how they carry themselves around you. It's how they don't want to say certain things around you. Because I remember, like, when I was in class, right, there was this one teacher who used to annoy the living lights out of me. I don't know about other people. Maybe they're gonna come at me in my comments because I still talk to them and we were in the same class. But this teacher, he would say the most atrocious things, and I'm thinking, why would you say that? Like, out of all the examples in the whole world, you just decided to use an example of my country or another African country. Like,
girl, I was just pissed off. Like, half of the time I would never listen. When I was in his class, I was just like, bruh, you are just a racist asshole. Like, no. He would say the most. He would favor, gosh, he would favor like all the other white counterparts and classmates, you know, and it was just like really annoying. If my Zim friend was not there to actually assist me with certain things, trust me, I could have failed that course because child, he was just not cool.
And then, you know, there were some teachers, you know, I was just happy in the sense that some of the Chinese lecturers who used to like teach us, you know, some of them have been abroad and stuff like that, so they would know how to handle African students. But for some reason, this school was just the ghetto. In my own opinion, recommendation-wise, do not go to Liaoning University in Shenyang. That school is trash. First off, they don't know how to handle international students. They don't know how to give a timetable. Like, they don't know how to map out how you're going to study this course. So, just a confusing space. And the fact
that they say, oh, we are prestigious with international students. Where, bruh? Where, my nigga, where? Like, I don't understand. No.
The first school that I went to was Renmin, which is in Beijing. The school was amazing. Like, it was really amazing. I wish I had gone back there. But because, you know, you don't research and stuff like that, and I was too excited to go back to China, I didn't have time.
I was just like, I am going, yay! And then, in my fucking face.
But research more, know where you want to go and if you really want to do this, because let me tell you, racism starts in the plane. They will make you feel like you do not belong there.
They will make you feel like like you used donkeys to get there. I'm just saying, it's the ghetto for me, but it's the truth. Like, they'll make you feel some type of way. I'm not being dramatic, okay? In general, I already am dramatic, but I'm just giving it to you, like, as it is.
Guys, there was a time
like
okay, I can forgive this guy because he was kind of like a foreign friend, but then he asked me this one summer, he's like,
Rachel, can I ask you something? And I was like, okay, what is it? And stuff like that. I'm like, wait, ask me. And the dumbest thing came out of his mouth. He's like, how does it feel to be that black? Because, you know, in summer, like, do you not feel heat differently? I really didn't know how to act.
But I was calm. And then I went all theoretical on him because
I could have, of course, yeah, that could have just landed me in jail, and I could never, come out of there. But
you know, some of them, they really want to ask because they don't know. But some of them, I guess it's the way they ask. It's like, you're just being racist. Like, you really don't want you to broaden your geography or history. You know what I mean? Because it's so funny that back home, you know, in schools and in colleges or whatever, our education system, we really know about other countries. Let's talk about globalization for a minute. Like, we know about everything. Like, literally, we live in America half of the time.
I mean, can I get an amen? Because we know everything out there. But then when you go there and then you interact with these people, they barely even know anything about you, which is so annoying. Because I'm thinking, okay,
Yeah, African Americans not knowing that Africa is a whole continent, not a country. When you go to China and then they just don't care, they're just oblivious. Let's say oblivious of the situation that black people exist. That's annoying. But I understand, you know, when you stay there over, sometimes it's like a 50-50 with me, because when you go into the rural areas where some Chinese people have never seen a black person, you can understand and be like, yo, yeah, I'm black, what up? You know what I mean? But then with the modern young Chinese people in some universities, there should be diversity, bro. Like, just know that black people exist. Okay, this video is gonna be way too long and people are not gonna listen, but thank you very much if you've listened this far. And if you have any questions, like I said, the comment section is right below. You can type your thing, ask me, and I can answer you back. Obviously, I have time to do that because my channel is growing, and I really want to thank everyone who actually watch my videos and share them and stuff like that. It really does mean a lot to me. Stay tuned for more content, and thank you very much again. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video with whoever you think needs it. So yeah, bye guys. Okay, let me go back to my tea because my throat is dry.